Good chilly evening out east, good windy afternoon here in the west, and happy hump day to all of our viewers around the world. I'm Rick Leventhal, and this is the Leventhal Report. Wildfires are still raging here in California, primarily in the Pacific Palisades area, just outside the city of Los Angeles, about 50 miles north of where I'm sitting tonight. Now called the Palisades Fire, it scorched more than 11,000 acres in less than 36 hours, forced tens of thousands of people to evacuate their homes, including friends of ours, led to at least 5 deaths, countless injuries, and at least 1,000 structures leveled. It's already the most destructive fire in Los Angeles city history, and it's not even close to being contained. In fact, when I last checked, it was 0% contained, with little hope on the horizon. A second blaze, the Eaton fire, has also exploded in size, scorching 10,000 acres as of early afternoon, 5 times what it was earlier this morning. I do want to take this opportunity to offer my respect and gratitude to the firefighters, police officers, paramedics, and other first responders working around the clock trying to fight these fires and help the people who've been caught up in them. Their jobs are incredibly dangerous and difficult and challenging, and they often don't get the thanks they deserve. But I also want to point out the mistakes left-leaning politicians have made that are making every one of these California wildfires bigger, stronger, faster, and more powerful than they need to be. Donald Trump posted about one policy, a state rule protecting endangered species, including the smelt fish, which limits the amount of water allowed to flow south to Southern California, which needs it. Former LA mayor candidate and Pacific Palisades resident Rick Caruso says fire hydrants in his neighborhood were running dry, and we've heard that from others as well. And Rick Grinnell, Trump's pick to be a presidential envoy for special missions, says, quote, "The far-left policies of Democrats in California are literally burning us to the ground." That's what Rick Grinnell said. The state has also been heavily criticized for poor forest management, failing to clear dead trees and dry brush that fuel these fires. I covered that story back in 2020, when more than 4 million acres burned in California alone, leaving 31 dead, and headlines like "the worst fire season again." Now LA has a new fire chief, the first woman and openly gay person to hold the post, who has made diversity hiring one of her priorities. Maybe she should have made water in the hydrants a priority first, because that's kind of important for fighting fires. Maybe even more important than how diverse your smoke eaters are. Then there's the mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bass, who just cut the budget of the city's fire department by nearly $18 million. And where was she when the Palisades fire erupted? She was in Africa, on what sounds like a vacation, attending the inauguration of Ghana's president, among other things. But she did find time to go on X and praise the firefighters whose budget she just cut for, quote, working overnight to protect Angelenos. "Yeah, you guys do it so I can stick to my official duties representing Los Angeles in Ghana, which is 7,411 miles from Santa Monica, which is also, by the way, under evacuation orders as the fires continue to burn." Oh, but at least President Biden has some good news. He held a press conference at a Santa Monica fire station to brief reporters on what he knew or could remember about what he was told to say about the fires. And he blurted out, "The good news is I'm a great-grandfather as of today." Well, congratulations, Mr. President. If anyone doubted you were out of touch or losing it or both, there's yet more proof. Considering you were on the doorstep of an Armageddon-like situation and couldn't wait to tell everyone about another member of your tribe, even as others were dying nearby. Kind of sad. Very sad. For more on our top story, it's been less than 30 hours since the first flames and massive wildfires began, and they continue to rage throughout the Los Angeles area, and they're fanned by winds approaching 100 miles per hour with little hope for a quick resolution. At least 5 people are now reported dead, with many others sustaining significant injuries. The fires have been made so much worse by the weather conditions, the dryness, and especially those life-threatening and destructive winds that rocked our house here in Newport Beach with gusts that I think were between 40 and 60 miles per hour. And of course, they were even stronger 50 miles up the coast.